Let us come before the Lord in prayer. Lord, we welcome your presence here this evening, and we invite you to move among us in this time of celebration. Thank you for allowing us to share our joy with the faculty members who've been an invaluable part of our education, and with our loved ones who have supported us along the way. Tonight, we celebrate the journey that has brought us to this place. Our experiences have changed us, and it is my sincere hope that we are now more faithful, more humble servants, more like you. Let us not be boastful of our accomplishments, but rejoice in the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. For it is by your grace and mercy that we stand here today. Help us to use the gifts you have developed in us to make a difference in our communities, our country, and the world. May our actions reflect the spirit of our hearts as we leave here tonight, ready to do your will. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
You graduates may be seated. I would like to thank you, Elizabeth, for a very inspiring invocation, and to welcome all of you, especially the graduates, but also including your family and friends to this occasion. There are about 280 people getting degrees, of whom just around 240 are marching tonight, and we are all proud of you. Everyone is riding high. I suppose you're the highest of all, and I really do welcome you to this, all of you, to this ceremony. I also want to welcome some members of our board who are here, including Mr. Fred Mancher, who is the president of the Kettering Health Network. He is to my right over here and your left. Also Hamlet Canosa, who has a part of the program. He's a member of our board. He has a daughter and a son-in-law graduating tonight. And Brenda Kuhn is here, also a member of our board. And I would also like to extend a special welcome to our student speaker, Sean Thaxton, who will be up here in moments. She's graduating tonight with a bachelor's degree in nursing. And so now let the festivities begin, and I want to make sure you understand that we are beginning in them where they should begin, with a word from Scripture. And so welcome Emily Unterseer to the podium.
The scripture tonight is from 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 20 and 21. Timothy, guard what has been entrusted to your care. Turn away from the godless chatter and the opposing ideas of what is falsely called knowledge, which some have professed, and in doing so have wandered from the faith. Grace be with you.
When I was asked to give a student reflection at graduation, I had no idea what I was going to say. I felt like, how could I represent an entire graduating class that I knew so little about? I kept thinking of all the things that made us different. We're all different majors, we come from different stages of life right now, we've experienced different things in our programs, and that's just all I could ever think of. And I look at each of you and hardly recognize anybody's faces, mostly because I did my BSN online over the last 2 years, but no matter. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that we all have so much in common, and it's all about where we've come from. Maybe some of you remember when we had to walk through the hospital, across parking lots, to the other end of the property, to make our way up a back stairwell of a loading dock in the doctor's office to go to A&P lab practical. Does anybody remember that? Nobody. I feel, yes, someone. Okay. Well, even if you don't remember those days, we've all stalked fellow students in the parking lot waiting for closer parking spaces because we don't want to park all the way back in the back. We've all endured hundreds of hours of clinicals and driven what felt like all the way across the state of Ohio to get to them. And we've studied more than we ever thought possible and longingly wished for coffee in IV form. But that's where we've come from, and there's more. Beneath the surface of the struggles, the experiences gained, the knowledge, education, and guidance we've received from this institution and our instructors, there lies compassion and a heart to serve. All of us have had the opportunity to serve our community, whether locally or abroad. From clinical work at local health centers, to Shoes for the Shoeless Drive, mission trips to Appalachia, to Central and South America, we've all reached out and made a difference. That's where we come from. And despite what motives brought each of us here to receive this degree, God placed us all here for a reason. We've all been called for a purpose greater than ourselves. We've been called to give, to love, and to serve our patients and their families with a love that only He can give. God has strategically placed each of us here at KCMA and instilled in us all the values of compassion, whole person care, and service, and for that we are different. We are graduates and alumni that stand out as a light to those around us in the healthcare field. We heal the broken, lost, and hurting through the love and power of our God. That's where we come from. Mother Teresa once said, "Find your own Calcutta. Find the sick, the suffering, and the lonely right there where you are, in your own homes and in your own families, in your workplaces and in your schools. You can find Calcutta all over the world if you have the eyes to see. Everywhere, wherever you go, you find people who are unwanted, unloved, uncared for, just rejected by society, completely forgotten, completely left alone. You and I are being sent to love on these people, the sick and wounded, the hurting and the forgotten. And it doesn't matter if you plan to practice here in Dayton, in California, or sub-Saharan Africa, or anywhere in between. With hearts full of love and compassion for patients and their families in their most vulnerable moments, we are the hands and feet of Christ, and we are going to make a difference. So no matter where your new career and life journey takes you, when you get there, may you always remember where you came from.
If you're wondering how I can still hold on, I can only give you 3 words in response. He carried me, He carried me, He carried me, He carried me, He carried me. When the evidence of my sin convicts me, and the consequences of my choices come,